Welcome back, everybody. Yes, we are still talking about Trayvon Martin.
Well, yeah, and black plight, the black plight and the racial tensions of America.
Well, actually, we're talking about the peripheral aspects of this case, because it's pretty cut and dry for us. We know what happened, what should have happened, etc., etc. But it's just, other extenuating shit that piqued our interest. What in the Christ is going on with this fucking computer?
What's the matter? Your shit's fucking up? Well, in any case, we wanted to talk about... Oh, you up and running? You good?
I mean, I pretty much know what the fuck happened.
You got a name? There's Marissa Alexander.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, because I can't even get to the bottom.
Okay, well, this was just another thing. And this happened in May. And this is one of the stories that we didn't get a chance to talk about, that I actually wanted to talk about, but, for one reason or another, we didn't even get a chance to. And it came back to relevance after the Trayvon Martin case, actually the Zimmerman getting off. And it's about a woman named Marissa Alexander of Jacksonville, Florida, who received a 20-year prison sentence on May 11, 2012, for firing warning shots against her allegedly abusive husband. The judge rejected a defense under Florida's Stand Your Ground law. So,
Yeah, so this one, she fired shots in the air. In the air. I don't know if that was disputed or not, but somehow they got this as attempted murder. So basically,
from a person that was whooping her ass.
Yeah. She raised like Sarah. So this was an ongoing situation. She
had an order of protection against him. She had an order of protection against the guy. So this was, like you said, this was something that was going on. Like you said, ongoing.
So she told police it was to escape a brutal beating by her husband, against whom she already had taken out an order of protection. So they gave her the option of doing a plea deal to get 3 years in jail, but she was like, I didn't do anything wrong, so she decided to go to court, and somehow she lost the case and is now going to jail for 20 fucking years, because of course there is no provisions for any extenuating circumstances under the Stand Your Ground shit. You lose that, you get attempted murder. That's a minimum of 20 years minimum. So this woman's going to jail for 20 fucking years for shooting up at the fucking ceiling. Now, unless her husband was fucking Spider-Man and was hanging on to the fucking, the ceiling tiles or the fucking chandelier, how the fuck do you get attempted murder from this shit?
I have no idea. And, she was a black woman, too. So, you can add that on if you want to or not. But it just,
that definitely adds to the case you said earlier. When it's black on black,
exactly,
someone goes to jail.
That's what I said. This person actually, missed. If she was aiming at him, let's say she wasn't shooting up in the air. Whatever happened, at the end of the day, the bullet did not hit the man, and she gets 20 years. Yet Trayvon Martin is dead, absolutely dead. The kid on Utica Avenue and Church Avenue, dead. The kid in the train station, dead. All of those other individuals dead, and no time, or minimal time, like the story you did. 2 years combined with 7 deaths. 7 deaths. So
it says there's insufficient evidence that the defendant reasonably believed deadly force was needed to prevent death or great bodily harm to herself. And the fact that she came back into the home instead of leaving out the front or back door is inconsistent with a person who is in general fear for her life. But she didn't shoot at him.
My thing is,
who the fuck cares?
All this other shit, at the end of the day, it's like the smell test or the eye test. Whether she went inside, whether she, did the fucking merengue in the living room, she didn't shoot anybody. She did not shoot anyone. No one was harmed.
Yeah, nor apparently did she try to shoot anybody.
But let's say even if she did, she's just the world's worst shot. No one was actually harmed. Yet in this case, someone was killed, no time. Those other cases, minimal time, if at all. And in this case, 20 years. So you either go take a plea and do the short time that you don't think you deserve, or you stand on your rights and be like, well, hey, I think I can prove that I didn't do anything wrong because this guy was whipping my ass, and you get 20 years for your trouble. With an 11-year-old daughter. You understand who's going to be 31 years old when she comes out. So when people say, "Oh, well, this is if you're a person of color and you're not necessarily patriotic, you should get the fuck out of the country." Look at what happens repeatedly to people of color. And I thought about something. Excuse me. The only demographic I think might be able to understand slightly what it feels like having, like I said, walking down the street, getting frisked for no reason. Bloomberg saying there's not enough minorities being stopped and frisked. This fucker said like 3 weeks ago, there's not enough minorities being stopped and frisked. Is, when I think about women on a lesser, we're not talking about deaths here, not in this country, in other countries definitely, but a woman, white, black, whatever, probably can tell you situations in which, because of her gender, men took advantage of them. Either they couldn't, ascend in the workplace, or someone was doing home repairs and was half-assing it, or they went to the mechanic and the guy changed the spark plug and charged them an arm and a leg, or a case in which you told me somebody owed a female friend of yours some money. When it was time to collect, the dude was kind of slow with the dough. When you came stepping around, all of a sudden the money came quick. New money too. You see, because there's, so women might be able to understand how it feels to just be persecuted in certain instances, or just put under negative circumstances simply because of your gender. Magnify that and bring death into it, like in some of those other third world, those Muslim countries or whatever. I don't want to say which one because I don't know, but I just know there's been like movies and documentaries of people like throwing acid in women's faces and asking them, "Hey, you want to marry me?" "No, I don't want to." Acid to the face, or you looked at another man, so let me go shoot you in the stadium. And
what was the shit with the whole fucking the gun law? You say you found a story where women were trying to, it was to carry knives because they were getting raped.
Yeah, they were getting raped so much so the government basically gave them pocket knives. Rather than do something about it, they gave them pocket knives.
Because they don't prosecute the men.
Yeah. See, so those, people under, a person like that might be able to understand what it feels like to know that, like I said, if I'm walking down the street, I'm a thug and I'm going to be judged as a thug, and in this case, fatally shot or just prejudged, and maybe a woman can understand that, at least what it feels like to have, the person doesn't know anything about you other than your sex, and is going to well, I'm going to judge you, and you're not getting this job, or you're not getting this promotion, or you're not getting equal pay, or we're going to fuck you over and not give you your money back, or whatever the circumstances, or in some cases just beat the shit out of you. Mm-hmm. Because men won't do that to men, because there's obviously ramifications, and a lot of times hardcore ramifications. So
another perspective that we talked about off air was an article that a friend of mine, same Canadian, someone posted it on Facebook, and she was disturbed by it because basically the article had Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton in a picture, and it said from the time Trayvon Martin was killed, some 512 days ago or something like that, over 2,000 black people were killed by black people. But they didn't see Sharpton or Jackson, waving a flag, running around, protesting, marching, weeping, or whatever for that. But, they come out of, their dens and toilet bowls or their bathrooms to come and scream injustice or the tragedy or the horror or whatever else they want to call it. And she was trying to understand, and the person who posted it, they wrote, perspective. Now, she was, completely offended by that. For me, I gathered, and again, I personally agree, because I don't give a shit about fucking Sharpton. I don't care about Jesse Jackson. Again, they're just, flag wavers who, need a photo op, and again, aren't willing to do the hard fucking work, or even suggest the real hard work it takes to fix the black nation.
But like we spoke ahead of time, the whole thing about 200, 2,000, it doesn't matter, in my opinion, because this is different. The main thing about this case is the guy got away.
Right, but
out of those 200
like I said,
deaths, How many of those motherfuckers went to jail?
Right, but my simple point is that's not what the issue is. I mean, they may have, like I said, they're talking about those two guys and the shit that they do and why they do it.
Yeah, but I mean, why would they? I mean, what is the political? I mean, crime happens. Whites kill blacks, blacks kill whites. Gangs, all sorts of these different colored gangs. People kill themselves. They get thrown in jail. So there's no story there. Or else,
like
every politician in the world would never get me sleep.
Like I said, these motherfuckers, before there's any conviction or acquittal, they start their fucking their parade. So it's not because this guy got off. It just makes it worse, of course. But they have the history of doing this shit. And again, my issue is that no one wants to do the hard fucking work. Now the person who posted that, who said, perspective, yeah, that sounded like, well, these savages kill themselves for sport anyway. So why the fuck should we care? Why should they care? That's the racist shit. To me, I'm saying that's the fucked up shit, that people who really believe this. They really believe this.
Well, I said, someone said, one of the racists that was commenting on something said something about, it's the 99% of the blacks basically make it bad for the 1% that's good. some ignorant shit like that. Whatever.
Is it really ignorant?
For me, no matter what crime statistics you tell me, I want to know only one thing. Where are the instances where blacks kill people and get away with it red-handed? Right. And the whole thing is the hands got to be red. It can't be, you might be red-handed. Red-handed. Blacks kill, get away with it.
Again, while I do not disagree with that, again, to me, like I said, we know this. These white people, like I said, portions of this country live by that code. This is nothing new. It's nothing shocking. But again, how the fuck do we begin to stop it? By going against these fucking white folks, these people, with an instance here and about 20 people there? No, we have to change. We have to do it together. But that's the part that's not happening.
And that's not going to happen.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the greater issue. And that's why I even though I don't really give a shit about that fucking article, I agree with it because, while it's a tragedy that this poor kid died, that's not the biggest problem we have. The biggest problem we have is that we can't do anything about it because we are not fucking.
I think when you mentioned Sharpton and Jackson, those are politicians. They're not leaders. See, I don't think there are any more real black leaders
but that's exactly
because they all got shot.
I agree.
All of them got shot.
Right.
So now you got politicians now.
Right, but to me, that's part of the disintegration of the black race or the black community, what do you want to call it? Yeah, there are no ones who, again, those leaders who we had, those cats put themselves on the line. They encouraged others to do the same. That's when, even though it was minuscule and may have been patronizing, but some shit got done. Some shit got done. People actually may have believed back then. Who the fuck, like I said, praying and fucking crying is not
playing and crying and walking with a billboard. It's not going to, a placard in your hand. It's not.
That's why, when I was in college, I had a big, gigantic Free South Africa poster. Because that was kind of the thing. There was in thing then. It was
the Keith Haring one, right?
Right, the Keith Haring one.
Yeah.
But one day I was thinking about this shit, and I'm like, I can't help anybody in fucking South Africa. We can't help anybody in fucking South Africa because we're fucked. So how is a bunch of fucked people going to help a bunch of fucked people? That's my whole point. We are fucked. We have to unfuck ourselves before we can fuck anybody else.
Well, that's going to take a whole lot of unity, and I don't think people can even spell unity anymore. I mean, no, seriously. I mean, I think, just these random pockets of violence and beating up some poor white jogger that had nothing to do with anything. So he takes a beating.
Exactly.
And all this other stupid shit. What are you doing? Because all you're doing is drawing the wrong kind of attention to the situation. Oh my God.
That shit just fucking
So now I'm looking at this. A Pennsylvania business graffiti would kill Zimmerman, gets set on fire. I mean, so you're burning businesses. What the fuck does this have to do with anything? Do you think that people, if you feel that there is some underlying or overlying structure that's moving forward to oppress or suppress black folks and stuff like this, where things like this is going to continue to happen, do you think burning some poor schmo's business or beating down some fucking jogger is going to do anything other than create the most negative press in the world and reinforce whatever kind of monkey savage stereotype these crazy racists have anyway? I mean, what the fuck is that going to do? I mean,
hilarious. I hope he fucking wins. This just handed to me. George Zimmerman filed civil suit against Trayvon Martin's parents. That's hilarious. Let's see.
Aren't they? I think they're going to file against him too. But
George Zimmerman filed civil suit today just before 5 p.m. at blah, blah, blah. The suit alleges that Trayvon's parents failed to control their minor-age son on the evening of February 26th.
What the
when Martin
fuck?
repeatedly assaulted Zimmerman, placing him in imminent fear for his life and resulting in Martin's death. The civil action specifies that Zimmerman acted in self-defense, resulting in the case being ruled in justifiable homicide by a jury trial that ended on Saturday with the verdict of not guilty.
this guy's begging for death.
Desperate. Oh, can we say that he should be killed now?
He's clearly begging for death.
Desperate state prosecutors charged the Zimmerman with second-degree murder. Blah 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 blah. Zimmerman shares zero liability in the death of Martin. Zero liability in the death of. Okay, that makes perfect sense to me. South the case in intent. The complaint further specifies Zimmerman shares that Martin has acted without malice. That's exactly what it says, and solely in self-defense.
Now, if you look on this article, if you scroll down, this is from the National Report.
I'm not looking at the articles.
There's
The picture of Trayvon with the smoke.
Yes, but do you see the caption underneath it?
Yeah, drug-addicted Trayvon Martin takes a hit off of a glass dick. Street for crack pipe.
So let me get this straight. For smoking weed, he's a drug addict.
Yeah. Just like,
It just shows you how
That's what I was saying earlier about how when you look at one person doing something, because on another note, which is I'm gonna bring it towards this. Martina Hingis, former number one tennis player in the world, 32 years of age, decided to come back after retirement. I think she retired in 2007 to play a doubles tournament, right? The reason she retired was because she was banned for 2 years for sniffing that yayo.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She was busted for sniffing that coke, and she was the flake and shit, and she got tossed from Wimbledon. She was like, I didn't do it, but you know what? I'm just gonna retire for 2 years or whatever. I'm just gonna retire. Never did I hear anything about drug addict. The most highest paid dude, and just to show you the perceptions, the highest paid actor in Hollywood today is Robert Downey Jr., who was an actual drug addict.
And more than just coke, ladies.
Yeah, we're doing everything. And his reward is Charlie Sheen. Their reward is they get second chance after second chance after second chance after second chance. But this kid for smoking some weed. So, that means which president said he smoked and didn't inhale? Was that Clinton?
That was Bush, wasn't it?
What?
No, that's right. It was Clinton.
It was Clinton, right? Said he didn't inhale or some shit like that. One of them said he smoked and didn't inhale. Whatever the fuck that means, he's a drug addict. Because if this kid is smoking some weed, he's a drug addict. The great Bob Marley, that poster that everyone loves about Bob Marley with him puffing that smoke? Bob Marley is a drug addict. Everybody's a drug addict, but no.
But see, this is why,
not.
And actually this is a good way to end the show, because I'm truly getting just tired and disgusted, because I don't know how many different ways to say that, you people bring this all on your fucking selves. I just don't know. I don't want to think of anyone anymore. It's too hot to fucking come up with more adjectives and slurs, for the stupidity that has run rampant. And that's why I say, I hope that this motherfucker wins, so that all you fucking blacks can have another march for the civil suit that fucking Trayvon, and maybe you can chisel some fucking a civil suit memorial, in somewhere in a tree in Florida or some shit.
For 15 days.
Yeah. Do whatever the fuck you want, like he said, for the next 15 to 20 days. And then go the fuck right back to being worthless. Anyway, that is our show.
That's the whole show.
That's the whole fucking show.
I can't believe that's the whole fucking show.
That's the whole show.
That's the whole show.
I am Ken. That is Skillet Sauce. 8 is over there, cloaked in.
That cannot be the whole show. I protest. That is not the whole show.
Well, I mean, if you had a problem with it, I invite you to strike me so I can fucking shoot you.
Is that the whole show, Mr. Time Man?
For what?
So that snafu didn't chop into our. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Oh well, then I guess that is our show. So.
That's our show. Yeah, I keep the timer on here.
Well, but I didn't know if you reset the time.
I always reset it for each segment.
No, I mean after the snafu that they don't know about.
Anyway, thank you for showing up. Once again, you can find us on Facebook at Insanity Check. You can tweet to us at Insanity Check 12. Join us on our Google Plus circles at Insanity Check. And of course, you can watch this show, this horrible fucking morbid show, in all its enhanced version on our YouTube channel, Insanity Check Radio. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back next week.
Take care.